3.7 years. Assuming I continue at this rate, that's more than reasonable, and given that I'm chapter 44 just starting, and it's, 9 days away from having been a whole year since I started it. Fucking A, alright. Here we go! Chapter 44. Oh, fuck. Chapter 44. I'll just, get this shit set up. Fucking... Oh, boy. Oh, boy! What have I done? What have I fucking done? Okay. On Amazon, this time my adverts are German concentration camps factual survey. That was the documentary they did after the Second World War, when they went inside, like Alfred Hitchcock went inside the concentration camps and took footage. Alien Covenant and Silence, which was my favourite film of last year, and which I eagerly await the purchase of. I'll get it on Blu-ray, I think. Okay, so, Chapter 44. Author's note. Finally, the Fire Emblem arc is ending in this chapter, and fortunately, this chapter is longer, like the other ones. That's all I need, isn't it? Read, enjoy, and review, please. So this chapter, in the drop-down box, it's called Right Pairings Are Right, and in the text, it's called Roy's Family is Reborn. Kylan Kingdom, near the throne room. With Mila's divine protection, Celica Map 1. Fuck you! This bit of dialogue here is not attributed to anyone. I think it's a soldier. Some random soldier. There they are! Whatever.
Shoot, more soldiers? I can't believe this army has so many of them,
Guy said, taking out his sword and running after the soldiers. Wait, the amount of persons guarding that door, it must be the throne room, Lynn said. Don't let them enter the throne room, a soldier said. There is your answer, Chris said, frowning and taking out his heavy sword. And so another battle started inside the castle. The swordsmans were fighting against soldiers with swords. Mages and archers were firing arrows at whatever enemy dared to move to attack them. Sarah trying to interrupt Hector from getting near Lynn while healing the wounds of someone hurted with the help of Priscilla. Roy, Lynn, and Elliewood making the triangle with the help of Priscilla, Roy, Lynn, and Elliewood making the triangle formation, Chris, Marth, and Guy teaming up killing soldiers, and Chris evading all the blood possible to touch his face, Raven having thoughts of killing Hector, the usual. Man, I made that scene a little boring, didn't I? XD! I know he's being sarcastic, but the irony is he actually did. Also, you could really use some semicolons every once in a while, because just commas, it's kind of annoying. I'm not going to do that thing I did during the Pokemon arc or whatever, where I went back through the sentences and just pointed out the completely superfluous use of commas, because, like I say, I want to get this done, and given the distressing calculations of that bloke what done the reviews, the guy who did the review I just read, if you stuck around for that, Larry, it was distressing, I assure you. Fuck. I gotta keep going. Okay, to hell with random enemies without character bios. Who wants to see them anyway? People always wants to see the heroes kicking the boss's ass. So we will change the scene, let's say 10 minutes later. Okay, were there any casualties on their side or anything, or did they just massacre the soldiers? Whatever, 10 minutes later. Wait, are they still trying to kill the useless random enemies without character bios? Wonderful. Just wonderful. This is getting so repetitive. In every goddamn story, there are lots of useless enemies without backgrounds that are so annoying, Chris said, annoyed to Marth. Italic letters were directed at you, the readers, and yes, he broke the fourth wall again. Oh, fucking Deadpool in here. I've already made that joke and it still isn't funny. Much like the Deadpool movie. Gotcha. Sorry. Loads of people love that film, and so there must be something in it. It's just not for me. But, you know, if you like it, that's fine. I respect you. I respect your opinion. But it wasn't for me. Do you have an idea? Marth asked. Chris nodded. Well, of course I have one. He looked at Lynn, Elliewood, and Roy. Go and kill that commander while we try to kill these useless guards. That's not a tactic. That's just killing more whatever. Hey! Chris killed the random guard in rage. Shut up! I can't stand this anymore. He's a sort of Aura Channel Chris. He likes sort of dehumanizing people, doesn't he? Remember when Lucario killed the caveman and Aura Channel Chris kept referring to him as a monster or whatever? He likes that, doesn't he? He's sort of these useless guards, lots of useless enemies without backgrounds. Whatever. So, I don't know. They had families, Aura Channel Chris. Just because they don't have character biographies doesn't mean they aren't people too. Chris killed the random guard in rage. Shut up! Oh, I can't stand this anymore. Elliewood, Lynn, and Roy sweat dropped. Fine, Elliewood said, entering the throne room along with Lynn and Roy. Wait for me. Hector was abruptly hit in his head by Sarah, and the knight fell unconscious on the floor. But her action was discovered by the other members of Lynn's legion. Even the useless random guards noticed this, and they stopped their attacks. Is that even a tactic in a war? A soldier asked, confused, but he earned a nasty glare of Sarah. Oh, stop it! I can't tolerate this either! Sarah said, enraged.
Sarah, I think you need to calm down a little,
Guy said, but he was interrupted by Sarah glaring at him. Shut up! Do you want to know why I tried to stop Hector from following Roy, correct? She asked. Elliewood's team was on the other side of the door, and they didn't heard anything from Sarah. Well, Rebecca trailed off. For the love of God, Rebecca, isn't obvious? I don't